Hello, welcome to HITC Sport. Right, let's take a look at every Premier League club and grade their biggest embarrassment of the FA Cup over the last 10 years, grading the most humiliating FA Cup exit that happened to each respective team since 2011, with the higher the grade being the more embarrassing, if you get what I mean. Right, let's go. Arsenal versus Nottingham Forest 2018, 8 out of 10. Yeah, despite some of the creatures out of the Western circles of Middle Earth trying to convince you that Arsenal have endured a decade of disappointment to such a degree that Arsene Wenger should arguably be buried alive at sea, don't forget they absolutely swept up in the FA Cup the last decade. 4 wins since 2014, so it's like KSI complaining that his golden watch is too tight on his wrist. But still, there have been embarrassments too, none more so than in 2018, Wenger's last ever FA Cup match, bowing out in the third round, conceding 4 goals at Nottingham Forest. Yes, Forest were once a European giant, but not in 2018. Not when they had David Vaughan on the pitch. Yeah, they were great under Brian Clough, but not with Zach Clough up front. Arsenal, the starting 11 consisting of World Cup winners, seasoned internationals, so being utterly chewed apart like a plate of wet lasagna, losing 4-2 against a team coached by the defensive walnut that is Ida Karanka. A defensive manager who probably gets a nosebleed if his fullbacks crossed the halfway line. Sorry, this was an utter disgrace, and whatever Everton scout recommended his club spend a combined £50 million on 2 of the wet yogurts scattered on that pitch, oh, clearly he was starved of oxygen in the womb. Aston Villa versus Peterborough 2018, 6 out of 10. Yeah, it was a 15-minute meltdown window which probably caused some Villa fans to have blood in their stool. It's results like this which caused Steve Bruce to have cabbages lobbed at his head. And a damn shame that for a world star like John Terry, a guy who's played in 7 FA Cup finals, that his last game of the competition would end like this, conceding 3 late goals home to Peterborough in the third round. It's just sad to see. It'd be like if Tony Bellew had stuck around long enough to get beaten up in a YouTube boxing ring by the human crab that is Addison Gibb. Just not fitting for a man of his reputation. This was a Peterborough team lying halfway down League One, who needed a replay to see off Woking in the previous round. So honestly, this result would have had Villa fans puking Weetabix out their nose. Brighton versus Lincoln 2017, 8 out of 10. Okay, this was the season Brighton went up, so the fans probably didn't give a pig's nutsack that they went down in the FA Cup 4th round that year, but still, you go 1-0 up at National League Lincoln, on a pitch that looks like a fireplace and smells like a broken toilet. You have a team sprinkled with seasoned veterans like Steve Sidwell and Glenn Murray, mixed in with young prospects like Solly March and Fikayo Tomori, and you can't even see off Lincoln. Lincoln? Conceding once to a non-league side is embarrassing, but 3 should almost be a criminal offence. Tomori scored an own goal in his debut. Thank God Chelsea scouts weren't watching this match, or he'd have been immediately emailed as P45 and told to go work on a farm. Christ, well, if Roman Abramovich had seen the game, he'd probably have him executed at dawn. Alan Power banged home a penalty. A lower league journeyman who used to play in the same football team as Conor McGregor, who I suspect is the ball control of a constipated pig. You've seen the Jake Paul call out. Come on, Conor, let's get on that 5-a-side pitch. I would absolutely run rings around you. Anyway, yes, for Brighton, this was embarrassing. Burnley versus Lincoln 2017, 9 out of 10. Yeah, good old Lincoln once again, in the very next match taking on Burnley, who unlike Brighton were actual Premier League material at the time. If you're Sean Dyche and you're being deprived of an FA Cup quarter-final after bottling a home tie with Lincoln, oh, I'd be chucking every last one of the starting 11 in a wood chipper. Fair play, Lincoln. This is a match where Joey Barton, in his last ever FA Cup appearance, seemed to lose his head. This is a genuine hard man who's been inside prison, and yet collapsing to the turf like a 3-legged giraffe after the centre-back tussles your hair. Anyway, yeah, Sean Raggett scores an 89th minute winner with their only shot on target, becoming the first non-league side in 103 years to reach an FA Cup quarter-final. Other scenes, a great day out, and Danny Cowley guaranteed a free pound for life in Lincoln. But still, the likes of Michael Keane, Joey Barton and Andrew Gray should not be losing a football match against a bunch of lads who work part-time in Sainsbury's. Chelsea versus Bradford 2015, 9 out of 10. Only one really here. Sorry Chelsea fans, but I love this game as a neutral. January 2015, and Jose Mourinho's side were the runaway Premier League champions. Gary Cahill and Ramirez put them 2-0 up at home to Bradford City, a mid-table League One club coached by Phil Parkinson. You know, the guy deemed unfit to work at Sunderland. And then somehow, despite being 49 places higher than Bradford in the English League pyramid, despite a strong first 11, they conceded 4 goals with Philip Moraes, a guy who played under Mourinho in his first ever Chelsea match back in 2004, actually netting a goal. This was a disaster. Didier Drogba is an FA Cup legend. He's won it 4 times, scoring in every final. And so for his final game of the competition to be watching his teammates concede 4 at home to Bradford, oh, just nasty. On a side note, this was also probably the final nail in the coffin for Mo Salah's Chelsea career. He never played for the club ever again. Crystal Palace versus Derby County 2020, 6 out of 10. Yeah, just going back to last season here, where Crystal Palace, a club who were only 10 minutes away from winning the goddamn cup 4 years earlier, limply go out in the 3rd round, losing 1-0 home to Derby County with Chris Martin scoring the winner. The Scottish Targaman, that is. Not the guy who sings like a melodramatic teenager and makes you bleed from the ears. That's what happens when Roy Hodgson starts with just Connor Wickham up front. It's like relying on a dog to drive the school bus. Everton versus Millwall 2019, 8 out of 10. It was games like this which made Everton fans think, what is the point of Marco Silva and why did the club bend over backwards to get him? But still, when you have £50 million superstars on the pitch, do not surrender a 2-1 lead to a bang average championship team, with Murray Wallace scoring a 94th minute winner as Silva proved once again that he can't coach how to defend a set piece to save his life. Christ above, the likes of Tony Pulis would eat this man on wet toast. Fulham versus Oldham 2019, 8 out of 10. Yeah, during the 18-19 season, the FA Cup was the least of Fulham's concerns, but still a bit sad how Claudio Ranieri bowed out of this competition forever, losing 2-1 at home to Oldham Athletic in the third round. A team who only 10 days earlier had conceded 6 at Carlisle. Callum Lang headed an 89th minute winner after Alexander Mitrovic had surprise botched a penalty. Ranieri even admitted his team showed no desire or passion to win the match. Poor old Claudio. Leeds versus Sutton 2017, 9 out of 10. Yeah, you're probably all expecting me to put in the Crawley game, right? Losing 3-0 to a League 2 team is embarrassing for a managerial visionary like Marcelo Bielsa, but also losing 3-0 to a League 2 team who were able to bring on a 33-year-old Towie reject, whose only footballing experience consists of rinsing Shane Ward, Westlife rejects and Ramsey Bolton a soccer 8. Yes, that was bad, but still, January 2017 and Leeds, 87 places above Sutton United, a team whose second choice goalie used to eat actual pies on the bench. Losing to them, a side who'd recently lost 6-0 at home to Dover Athletic, just utter shame. Yes, Gary Monk rang the changes, but still, Leeds United losing a game of football to bin men and River Island employees? Good Christ. Leicester versus Newport County 2019, 8 out of 10. Now that Leicester have completed football, the fans want to win their first FA Cup since the 60s. You could have told Klopp well that, because 2 years ago they were booted out of the FA Cup third round, losing 2-1 away at League 2 Newport County. This is arguably the club's rock bottom moment since topping the Premier League in 2016, with Padraig Amon banging home a late penalty. You know, the 32-year-old former Kildare and Sligo Rover centre forward who's never even been given a sniff of an Ireland cap. Liverpool versus Oldham 2013, 9 out of 10. Liverpool have won nearly every available trophy to them the last decade. Not the FA Cup though, where they've been routinely embarrassed pretty much every season. Where do you want to start? Losing at home to West Brom, being dumped out by Wolves twice, letting a teenage Jack Grealish rip Stevie G apart in his last ever FA Cup appearance? No, the worst is 2013, when a team with Luis Suarez in it actually lost 3-2 away at League 1 relegation battlers Oldham Athletic in the fourth round. A team with Matt Derbyshire up front. No wonder Suarez wanted to leave in the summer. Man City versus Wigan 2018, 9 out of 10. The last 10 years have been the greatest in Manchester City's history. The last 10 years have also arguably been the worst in the history of Wigan Athletic, and yet somehow in that time frame, Wigan have knocked City in the FA Cup 3 times. Yes, the first 2 times were another disgrace, especially when City were beaten in the final, but at least Wigan were in the Premier League at the time. Not in 2018. City were top of the Premier League, while the Latics were top of League 1. In the 5th round, Fabian Delph sent off in the first half, but I don't care if you have 10 players on the pitch. With the amount of wages those guys were earning, Guardiola should have been able to field 7 players on that pitch and still win the goddamn game. But no, Will Grigg bangs home the only goal of the match on a muddy pitch. How did Guardiola actually lose a managerial battle of wits with Paul Cook? When Pep was winning trebles with Barcelona and dominating Europe, Cook was coaching Sligo Rovers. Man United versus Swansea 2014, 8 out of 10. To be fair, Man United haven't suffered too much embarrassment in the FA Cup since 2011. They've been knocked out by Chelsea 4 times, weirdly enough. I'll go for January 2014, when in the third round under David Moyes, Swansea won for the first ever time at Old Trafford, with Wilfred Boney stoppage time winner dumping them out at the first hurdle. Back when Boney was a top class centre forward, before he turned into a hefty sack of butter at the Etihad, it was a decent Swansea team, but still, Moyes needed this result like he needed a homeless man to take a dump in his fridge. Just utter nonsense. Newcastle versus Stevenage 2011, 9 out of 10. Newcastle are a team who should be beating down the door to win a cup every year, right? Well, under Mike Ashley's reign of terror since 2007, they have knocked out just one Premier League team in the FA Cup, and that was Blackburn in January 2012, who were only hanging on to the top flight status by their nipples. Just embarrassing. Where do you want to start? Losing 3-0 away at Oxford United was just awful, but at least Newcastle were a championship team at the time, if that's any consolation. But in 2011 though, Newcastle were the Premier League team under Alan Pardew, and they surrendered 3-1 at League 2 Stevenage. Pardew was only 1 month into the job and the fans wanted to run him out of town. How he was given an 8-year contract the following year is beyond any form of logic. Sheffield United versus Barnet 2019, 7 out of 10. Yeah, in January 2019, the year of Sheffield United's promotion from the Championship, here they were losing a third round FA Cup tie 1-0 home to Barnet, with Shaquille Coulthurst scoring a first half penalty in one of the most forgettable sporting events of all time. Southampton versus Derby County 2019, 6 out of 10. Yeah, here we had Southampton under Mark Hughes scrape a 2-2 draw with Derby County in the third round, so in the return leg at home they scored 2 in 2 minutes to go 2-0 up with 20 minutes left, and yet still managed to draw the game 2-2 again before Nathan Redmond misses a penalty in the shootout and they go out to a championship also ran. Tottenham versus Leeds 2013, 8 out of of 10. Leeds during the 12-13 season were an utter mess, finishing 13th in the Championship, but they did knock Tottenham out in the 4th round. But lads, if you have Gareth Bale, Scott Parker and Gylfi Sigurdsson on the pitch, no way should you be losing to a team with Paul Green in midfield and a fat El Hadj Diouf up front. But yeah, Ross McCormack scored the winner in a 2-1 famous Elland Road win. West Brom versus Blackpool 2021, 8 out of 10. Yeah, the most recent one on the list. Last weekend, West Brom sloppily scraped a 2-2 result at Blackpool, a mid-table League One team, and then were booted out of the cup on penalties. No, Sam Allardyce was never going to win the thing, but what happened to being hard to beat? Losing to Blackpool, good Christ. West Ham versus Wimbledon 2019, 8 out of 10. Yeah, the area of West Ham getting slapped 4-2 away at Wimbledon, a club who are only 15 years of age, a club not legally able to drink. I'm sorry, but Manuel Pellegrini, a former Real Madrid boss, being outwitted by Wally Downs? Nonsense! And I think Liverpool signed Adrian after that. Wolves versus Luton Town 2013, 8 out of 10. Yes, Wolves were in the Championship at the time, but losing 1-0 away at Luton Town, who were in the Conference? Yeah, I know Wolves were relegated to League One that season, but surely this was the rock bottom moment. But 4 players in that Wolves starting 11 were Irish. That's a bit embarrassing. Anyway, that's it, guys. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to subscribe, and as always, I'll talk to you in a while.